This out. Pfizer says an early peek at its vaccine data suggests the shots may be 90% effective at preventing COVID-19, indicating the company is on track later this month to file an emergency use application with the government. Now, the announcement does not mean this vaccine is imminent. According to the Associated Press, this interim analysis from the Independent Data Monitoring Board looked at 94 infections recorded so far in a study that has enrolled about 44,000 people in the U.S. and in 5 countries. Pfizer Inc. did not provide any more details about the cases and cautioned that the initial protection rate might change by the time the study ends. Even revealing such data early is highly unusual. Just trying to give a little bit of hope out there, I guess. Dr. Bill Gruber, he is Pfizer's Senior Vice President for Clinical Development. He says, we're very encouraged. We're in a position potentially to be able to offer some hope.
Awesome.
That's good news for the business community.
Bad news if Joe Biden does turn out to be our official president, as far as his mask mandate that is rumored could happen. That might head him off at the pass there, but that's great news.
I don't know if we could call it a rumor. It was actually kind of a promise he made.
Yeah.
Well, listen, authorities have stressed it's unlikely that any vaccine will arrive much before the end of the year, and limited initial supplies will be rationed. The shots made by Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech are among 10 possible vaccine candidates in the late stages of testing on the planet. 4 of them so far have huge studies in the United States. Another U.S. company, Moderna Inc., also has said it hopes to be able to file an emergency application with the FDA possibly later this month. That is good news. Dr. Nicole Saphier was on Fox just a minute ago.
So that's right. The Pfizer vaccine is actually just reporting that they found that a week after their second dose of the vaccine, that vaccine was having a 90% efficacy in preventing the COVID infection. I mean, that's great news. That our threshold was just they had to be above 50%. So to be reporting 90%, that shows it's really working. That means, because this is a 2-part vaccine, you have to have 2 shots before it works. That means 28 days after that first shot that you are protected potentially from COVID with a 90% efficacy rate. That's great news. This data is crucial for us to look at right now. The high cases circulating throughout the country has actually allowed us to have this data earlier. I do anticipate that you're going to start seeing some of these approval process taking place in the next couple of months, and we may be seeing some of these vaccines available for healthcare workers and other high-risk people, maybe early 2021.
There you go. Now, volunteers in the final stage of the study, and researchers don't know who received the real vaccine or the dummy shot, but a week after that second required dose, Pfizer study began counting the number who developed COVID-19 symptoms, and they were confirmed to have, the COVID virus. Because the study has not ended, Dr. Gruber at Pfizer says he couldn't say how many in each group had infections, but this does offer a little bit of hope, especially for the stock market. I mean, this pandemic, as you know, sent shockwaves across the globe, as far as the economy goes this past spring. And while conditions are slowly picking up, many businesses remain in a deep hole. We could run through a laundry list of businesses that are still struggling: the airlines, the hotel industry, just tourism and travel, restaurants and bars, on and on and on. Biden said he can't end the pandemic by flipping a switch, but business leaders hope a more hands-on approach compared to President Trump's can lead to a quicker economic recovery. This according to the Biden campaign. Now, Biden is expected to announce his coronavirus task force later today.
Well,
not even in office yet.
No, not even in office yet. Not even truly official yet. And he's on it. But I wonder if this Operation Warp Speed, which has certainly contributed to them looking like we're just really, really on the cusp of a vaccine here. I wonder if this could be applied in the future to other vaccines, other cures, other whatever. Just discovering how fast we can really get things done when you just decide to do it fast and put everything you have behind it.
Sure.
And this has been pretty amazing. So let's hope that they are indeed that close and we get through it, because it's going to change the world, at least the world that we've known for about the past 9 months.
Now, Pfizer does not plan to stop its study until it records 164 infections among all of the volunteers, a number that the FDA has agreed is enough to tell how well the vaccine is working. The agency had made it clear that any vaccine must be at least 50% effective, and so far this one is showing 90%.
Pretty
just
good.
On a small sampling of the 44,000. Well, no participant so far has become severely ill is what Gruber says. Nor could he provide a breakdown of how many of the infections had occurred in, among the elderly patients that they're working with, who are at the most high risk, of course. Participants were tested only if they developed symptoms, leaving some unanswered questions whether vaccinated people could get the infection but show no symptoms and unknowingly spread this virus. As you know, the FDA has required the U.S. vaccine candidates to be studied in at least 30,000 people. In addition to adequate numbers of older adults, those studies must also include other groups that are high risk, including minorities and people with chronic health problems.
Yep.
So, that gives a little bit of hope for the business community for sure.
Absolutely does.
Listen, you could jump in here
sir.
at 512-836-0590. So I'm not 100% sure if this is COVID-related or not. Got to dig a little bit deeper on this. HEB shoppers need to look out for purchasing limits on certain products the next time they go to the grocery store. HEB announcing purchasing limits for toilet paper, paper towels, but for only its Central Texas stores, including San Antonio, the Gulf Coast, and the border areas. HEB said purchasing limits will help stabilize their supply chain and ensure items are available for all customers, and they're restocking daily. The product limitations were implemented last Saturday, and shoppers are temporarily limited to 2 packs of toilet paper, 2 packs of paper towels per transaction. So there you go. They got a list of other things as well.
Wow. I hope this doesn't spar some irrational behavior of people going out right now and buying too much. I believe it or not.
Well, they can't. There's a limit.
Well, they can't. But believe it or not,
That's the fear.
There have been people that have, believe it or not, still to this day, hoarding toilet paper and hoarding paper towels.
Well, I don't think this is COVID related. I think this is election related.
Maybe.
I think this was looking into the crystal ball going, okay, we know that there's a lot of police departments preparing for possible chaos if the courts overturn the election. There may be situations where, some cities people can't get to the grocery store. That's very possible.
I guess just we can accept the future now and in the future. Anytime that the world gets anxious about anything, we're going to go buy a bunch of paper products.
Yeah, listen,
that's what we do.
Listen, folks are weighing in on this story on my Facebook page, @Todd Jeffries ATX, and you can share your thoughts.